Have you ever felt that familiar pull, that deep desire for more and like maybe more wealth? Yeah, but also more balance. And definitely less overwhelm from just so much information out there.
Yeah, you want to be genuinely well-informed, but honestly, who has the time to wade through everything?
Exactly. And that's precisely where we come in. Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to take complex stuff, pull out the really important bits, and make it accessible for you.
Think of us as your personal guides, helping you get informed quickly, maybe even enjoyably.
And today we're doing a special deep dive, actually tailored specifically for you, the Cash Flow Circle community. We're digging into Pat Hiban's book, 6 Steps to 7 Figures.
Right, a real estate professional's guide to building wealth and creating your own. And our mission here, may be perfect for your Wednesday walk, is to give you a really clear, actionable breakdown.
Yeah, we want to help you answer some key questions like, who in the Cash Flow Circle could really use this? What are the core lessons? How can you figure out which chapters to focus on?
And maybe even, what's a good way to take notes as you explore this? The goal is really to give you a shortcut to understanding and applying Pat's wisdom so you can build wealth, one smart decision at a time. That's what you're all about, right?
And his story alone is pretty incredible and relatable, too. Pat Hiban, he isn't just some speaker. He's an active real estate pro who went from making, what, like $13,200 a year?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
really low, and built it up to over $5 million a year in commissions.
Yeah.
Sold over $1 billion in residential real estate. It's pretty staggering.
But what gets me is his background. He calls himself an average kid, single-parent home, didn't even talk till he was 5, labeled learning disabled.
Right, struggled with speech.
Right.
His whole point is, look, if he could do it, starting from way behind the curve, then you absolutely can too. It kind of removes the excuses, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay, so let's jump right into his first step. It's about goals, but like making them impossible to ignore. How did Pat make that happen? Turn wishes into real action.
Well, he literally took a picture of a townhouse he desperately wanted, blew it up, laminated it, and stuck it on his keychain.
On his keychain.
Yeah, so every time he grabbed his keys, boom, there it was. That constant, tangible reminder. He says it helped him buy that first home right on schedule. It's kind of like that famous Jim Carrey story, right?
Writing himself that $10 million check.
Exactly. That physical thing, it bypasses doubt, programs your subconscious. He also talks a lot about affirmations. Says like 90% of his came true.
Okay, affirmations. What's his trick there? How did he phrase them?
His big thing is phrase them as if they've already happened. Not I will own, but I own. Back in the 80s, it was I own a car phone and I use it a lot.
Which was a huge deal back then.
Oh yeah, massive status symbol, costs a fortune, but it became real for him. The most powerful example, though, has to be his Mount Kilimanjaro story.
I remember reading about this.
Yeah, 3 months before the climb, he adds, I am a July 28, 2008 summiter of Mount Kilimanjaro to his affirmation CD. He gets up there, 17,000 feet, freezing, sick, wants to quit.
Totally understandable.
But he says, repeating that phrase, I am a summiter, over and over, was the only thing that pushed him to the top. It wasn't just about the mountain. It was about affirming the goal, taking those small steps.
Wow. Okay, so for you listening, especially if you're feeling a bit stuck or your goals feel kind of vague, this step is huge. Pat learned you can't control the market,
Right? The crash taught him that.
But you can control your daily actions. So ask yourself, are your goals about outcomes you can't control or about the daily things you can do? Like, every day I will save $5 or I will make 5 prospecting calls.
And that ties straight into having an accountability partner. Pat's had the same guy, David Osborne, for over 12 years. They share goals, report progress daily or weekly.
That takes commitment.
It does. And they use this carrot and stick method. Apparently, they'd write like a $5,000 check to a political party they absolutely hated.
No way.
Yeah. And if they missed their goals, the check got mailed. Talk about motivation.
That is serious motivation. So finding someone you trust, a peer you can be really honest with. For your own journey, maybe ask, what's your townhouse picture? That clear, tangible goal. And who in the cash flow circle could be your accountability partner?
Pat also hammers on not being reactionary. Plan your ideal day. Focus on those dollar-productive activities first before the emails pull you in.
Like the example of Samina Chowdhury on his team.
Exactly. Writing 15 handwritten thank you notes before even looking at email. That's focusing on high-value stuff first.
Definitely powerful. Okay, so goals are set. Accountability is in place. What's the next crucial step Pat insists on? It's all about tracking, right?
Absolutely. Step 2, track. That which is measured will grow. He's huge on daily visual accountability.
Get the thermometer thing.
Yeah, a literal thermometer on his door to track 100 referrals. He says, put your goals everywhere, screensavers, laminated lists, car visor. His $40 K a month goal was on his visor.
Huh. Bet his mechanic was impressed.
Probably. But the point is, if you're not constantly seeing it, tracking it, it's easy to drift off course.
Makes sense. And what about tracking where business actually comes from?
Oh, that's critical. He tracked customer sources, meticulously repeat referral, sphere, new leads. This let him pivot smartly when the market tanked. He shifted from costly ads to focusing purely on relationships.
Okay, this is so relevant for you in the cash flow circle, especially if you've got a side hustle or small business brewing. Do you really know where your income or potential income is coming from? Pat faced that huge downturn in '07. Sales dropped like a rock.
Yeah, from like 41 homes a month down to 6. Ouch.
But instead of just panicking, he took that advice, go where the money is flowing, and pivoted completely into foreclosures. It's not just real estate advice, is it? It's about adapting wherever you are.
Exactly. It's about seeing the shift and moving with it. He also really stresses tracking your net worth. Keeps his on a laptop spreadsheet linked to everything. His question is simple. If you don't know how much money you have, how can you make it grow?
Applies to personal finances just as much.
Totally. And then there's watching expenses. Pat got ruthless during downturns. Cut ad frequency, ditched billboards, even removed brochure boxes from signs.
Which actually increased leads. That sounds counterintuitive.
Right? But serious buyers had to call. It filtered out the looky-loos. He also optimized postage, scrubbing his mailing list for his calendars down to just the top preferers. Smart cuts.
So practical stuff. What about his cost-effective marketing ideas?
Yeah, his top 6 are pretty simple. Magnetic business cards, calendars, cookies for anniversaries, a recommended vendors list, free notary services, and invites to community events like blood drives.
Nice. So for you listening, think about it. How are you tracking progress visually? What expenses could maybe be trimmed, and what simple, cost-effective marketing could you try for your own ventures?
It's all about knowing the numbers.
Okay, let's shift to step 3. This is about learning from the best, finding mentors and masterminds. Pat really emphasizes not reinventing the wheel. What was his first big lesson here?
It was pretty blunt. Sit in the corner and do what you're told. Basically, check your ego at the door and learn from people who know more.
Humbling, but effective.
Yeah, his early mentor, Irv Norgren, taught him discipline, proactive work, constantly asking that simple question, have you bought a house yet? Kept him laser-focused.
And Pat wasn't afraid to just copy successful strategies, was he?
Not at all. He openly adapted Russell Shaw's TV commercial strategy, cold called him, got the script because they weren't competitors, and apparently got like a 4-to-1 ROI on it.
Wow. That speaks to his abundance mentality, right? He shares his own stuff freely, too.
Absolutely. Puts his commercials on YouTube for others. He borrowed postcard ideas from Judy Markovits, even used pictures of his own daughters. It also shows this second-to-market advantage.
Meaning you don't always have to be first.
Exactly. Like his moving trucks. Another agent had them, but clients still loved the service from Pat. It worked anyway.
So a key question for you in the cash flow circle, who in your world, maybe someone local, maybe online, like the bond rental prop channel is already doing what you want to do, how can you respectfully adapt their success? Even small tweaks count.
And he used mentors to navigate big changes too. When the market crashed, he learned the foreclosure game from Chantel Ray. That advice led to tons of listings with banks. He's also big on networking and masterminds, like the Elite REO network.
That Napoleon Hill quote comes to mind.
Right. 2 reasons people don't succeed. They don't mastermind. They give up too soon. Pat definitely didn't give up.
And he pays it forward too, right? Mentoring others led to passive income for him.
Yeah, he mentored Mark Schweiger with a payroll company and Jason Giannotti with a software company, and ended up getting passive stakes in both. He calls mentoring an opportunity for immortality.
Love that. So think about your biggest challenges right now. Who could you maybe reach out to for some guidance, even just a quick chat?
Finding the right mentor is key. Someone successful, non-judgmental, genuinely interested, and who pushes you.
Okay, step 4. This feels like the engine driving everything. Act. Proactive, consistent effort on the right things. What did that Sweat Hogs course teach him?
It taught him to stop waiting and go out and make things happen. Sit down, make calls until you get an appointment. Simple as that. It's a numbers game.
And he talks about dollar productive activities, DPAs. Can you break that down?
Sure. DPAs are the tasks that directly bring in money. For him, that was prospecting, showing homes, listing appointments, negotiating deals, everything else, paperwork, driving around that's not a DPA.
So what's the punchline there? The hourly rate thing.
Yeah, it's pretty striking. He calculates that if you earn, say, $250K a year, but only spend 5 hours a week actually doing DPAs, your effective hourly rate during those DPA hours is like $1,000.
Whoa.
Right. So for you listening, what are your unique DPAs? The things only you can do that really move the needle financially. And what could you potentially delegate?
Which leads straight to his point about assistants.
Exactly. You either have an assistant or you are an assistant. Ouch. But true. He figured out what to delegate by, like, having someone shadow him for a day, keeping a strict 15-minute activity log.
And the email thing? Not checking till noon.
Yeah, that's a big one. Prioritizing his proactive work before getting sucked into reactive mode.
He also has that great story about valuing every lead. The caller he almost dismissed.
Oh yeah, the mentally disabled caller story. Guy spoke really slowly. Pat almost wrote him off. Turns out he was one of the richest men in Maryland, buying a place for his gardener.
Incredible. Lesson learned. Don't prejudge.
Never. Treat every call like it's the money phone, as his manager George Holman said. See dollar signs with every ring.
So are you maybe leaving money on the table by making assumptions? And are you always asking for the business? Pat even got deals years later just by reminding people of old promises.
People usually honor their word. And if you hit a slump, he has a list of ways to break out. Get proactive, back to basics, take small deals, just get busy, avoid negativity.
Good practical stuff. Okay, moving to step 5. Build on it. Using every success, even small ones, as a launch pad, how did he leverage that first cold call sale?
Right, so he makes one sale from cold calling John Olson. Then, instead of just celebrating that one win, he uses it. Calls like 2,000 other people in the neighborhood saying, I just sold the Olson house. Builds momentum.
Smart. And advertising success, even small stuff.
Totally. That little $29,000 foreclosure listing, he put it on his email signature, his cards, everywhere. Used it as proof he handled REOs, which helped him build trust with banks and eventually get hundreds of listings.
So for you in the cash flow circle, maybe you've had some small wins recently. How could you leverage those? Share them more widely to build credibility or open new doors?
It's about amplifying success. And a huge part of that is strategic team building, leveraging yourself through hiring.
Who were his first key hires?
An executive assistant, a buyer agent, and a telemarketer. Crucially, he focused on delegating tasks where the client controls your time, like buyers wanting to see houses on weekends. That freed him up.
Makes sense. Control your own schedule. And his hiring trick, the trial day.
Yeah, the 8-hour free trial day for all candidates. He says it saved him countless times by quickly showing who fits and who doesn't.
Interesting. So again, for you, what tasks are you doing that someone else could potentially handle, freeing you up for those DPAs?
And it's about adopting a business entity mindset. Not just you doing stuff, but building a system, a business. Like the Johnny Cochran Group, his name was on the door, but he wasn't doing all the work.
Pat had to get over that hard work equals self-worth thing.
Exactly. Realize his worth wasn't tied to hours logged. And when mistakes happen, blame the system, not the people. Fix the process that failed. Much healthier.
Okay, brings us to the final step, step 6, and it's a big one. Invest. Put your money to work for you. What's his approach to saving?
It's aggressive. Save as much as possible above your monthly expenses, not just 10 or 15%. He even says, get excited about saving goals or paying down debt.
That's a mindset shift for sure. And he warns against lifestyle creep. Right.
Big time. His rule, never increase permanent expenses based on temporary income hikes. Don't buy the second car or the vacation home just because you had a good year. Use windfalls for one-time things, maybe a great trip, not ongoing liabilities.
Like his friend with the expensive Naples home.
Exactly. Costing her $64K a year, she later realized she could have just rented for way less. So, for you listening, is your spending creeping up with temporary bumps? Could you save that extra cash instead or use it for something non-recurring? Pat lived way below his means for years.
Keeping expenses low. And the goal is?
Passive income, mailbox money, earning without active work. That's the dream, right?
How did Pat build his?
Started with residential rentals, had 50 over the years, has 5 paid off now, then moved into commercial property shopping center AutoZone. He learned a lot from Tim Rode, who retired at 40. Pat now gets about $19,500 a month passively.
Wow. Covers his bills and then some.
Way more. But the key advice here, invest based on cash flow, not speculation. Does the rent cover the mortgage and expenses now? Not maybe in 5 years.
Don't just hope for appreciation.
Exactly. He learned that the hard way. losing money on a mobile home park and a loan because he didn't really understand or control them. So ask yourself, are you investing in what you truly get or just gambling?
His coach had that point about the human need to take risks.
Right. Dr. Gross said, satisfy that itch somewhere else, go skydiving, climb a mountain, don't do it with your nest egg.
Good advice. So for your notes, maybe calculate your monthly nut, your essential expenses.
Yeah.
Find one recurring cost you can cut, and brainstorm maybe one or two passive income ideas you could explore, even small ones. Pat's first rental made him $300K eventually.
It all starts somewhere. This step is fundamental for everyone.
What a journey through Pat Hiban's 6 steps. Setting goals, tracking, finding mentors, acting, building, investing. It really is a roadmap, isn't it? Not just for real estate, but for anyone in the cash flow circle aiming for financial freedom and, importantly, balance.
Absolutely. And that final point from Pat is so key. One life, fully lived. Work funds life. Life comes first. Don't just grind yourself down.
Which leads to some great final takeaways for all of you. First off, celebrate. Remember Pat's crazy tears of celebration?
Oh, yeah. The pies in the face, shaving his head, eating a cicada.
Exactly. So how can you celebrate your wins, big or small? And how can you motivate people around you with fun, non-monetary stuff and genuine appreciation?
And then maintain balance. His wife Kim's advice: set boundaries. Leave work in the car when you get home. Be present. Your family wants you, not just your money.
So important. And handle setbacks with Fido. Forget it and drive on. Learn, but don't dwell.
Right. Learn the lesson, move forward.
Pat's final challenge is pretty bold, too. You can squeeze 80 hours of productive work into 50 hours of real time.
By being hyper-focused and delegating ruthlessly, working smarter.
So as you head out on your Wednesday walk or just reflect on this, here's that provocative thought Pat leaves us with. He says his mistakes were painful, sure, but always constructive. The lessons learned made the rewards even better.
Yeah, so the question for you is, as you go on your own 6 steps journey, how will you intentionally view your challenges, your setbacks? Can you see them not as failures, but as stepping stones to something greater, to that more fully lived life?
Something to really chew on. We definitely encourage you to maybe re-listen, take some notes, see how these principles apply to your situation, and maybe share your thoughts or challenges in the Cash Flow Circle community. Keep the conversation going.